Now let's talk about the MVP rankings headed into the halfway mark of the UFL season. All right, so number 5 on the list. Well, I'll say number 5 on the list. Number 4 on the list, honestly. I'm going to get to that. It's Darius Shepard, still the all-purpose king, right? It's not even close for him. Shepard had 724 all-purpose yards. The next closest guy is Arlington Renegade Jawan Mangio, who's got just over 500. That dude is doing a bunch in the receiving game. He's doing even more in the kickoff return game, and that's one of the reasons or the primary reason that he is here. In the UFL, where it is really, really difficult to kick a ball into the end zone because you are kicking from the 10, you get an opportunity to return that. On top of that, the rules are really about health and safety, which means that until that ball is fielded or it hits the ground, the kickoff team has to stay put. So you don't get a running start, which means that the specialist gets to see what he's looking at and then make a play. And Darius Shepard has shown last year in the XFL, this year in the UFL, that he is a guy that can change field position for you with a good kick return and really put them into positive situations as opposed to having to take the ball from the 25-yard line. Then next on the list, okay, this is where I'm talking about when we talk about 4 versus 5. I'm going to just lay it out here. Number 3, Stallions quarterback, plural. Okay, McCarron and Adrian Martinez. I understand what you mean. Okay, let me unpack this. Both of those guys are undefeated as starting quarterback. Neither of those guys has won the job. Skip Holtz, for the 3rd year in a row, has said, I have quarterbacks that deserve to start. They continue to practice the way that they have practiced and prepare the way they prepared. They will start. He did this with J.M.R. Smith and Alex Magoo in 2022. He did it in 2023. Differences in 2023, Magoo kind of separated. And that ended up being the guy he rode with, and for good reason, MVP. They win the championship. This year's just fascinating, just interesting, because they're much closer in talent than J.M.R. Smith and Alex Magoo, right? J.M.R. Smith is a great operator. Alex Magoo can make you right when the play goes wrong. That seems to be what Adrian Martinez does better than even Alex Magoo did. Now, it's a smaller sample size. But Matt Corral, also kind of a one-to-one to Alex Magoo. So you could say that the level of quarterback under Skip Holtz has really grown. And you still get to keep J.M.R. Smith on the sideline because he is a coach on the field for you. But the 2-quarterback system usually does come to an end. Usually by the halfway mark, Skip Holtz says, okay, here's going to be the guy until such a thing happens. That guy either loses his mojo or, heaven forbid, he gets hurt. But I can't in good conscience tell you that I would not have one of these two guys in an MVP conversation at the end if Stallions are undefeated, right? Because that's how these things work. But more than that, it is a credit to what Skip Holtz has built, because those guys trust him. He trusts them. And he doesn't get an itchy finger. Like, Matt Corral did not look great to start the game against the defenders, and he didn't get the hook. He wasn't going to get the hook. It was his game. And I really love that about Skip Holtz, who is always going to give his guys opportunities to go make plays. He just asks them, right, to make good plays. And I don't think that's all you can ask from a quarterback. So we'll continue to track this. But for now, I'm okay having two guys after week 4 from one team in the running for the same spot because it's quarterback, right? And we only get 10 weeks, and we're going to figure out something here pretty quick, fast, and in a hurry. Okay, number 2, I have Jordan Ta'amu, because I don't think that any team has been more important to his team's success so far than Jordan Ta'amu, and frankly, one of the 2 guys who has not needed to get into some sort of battle or lose the job for either an injury or play. They know at DC, Jordan Ta'amu is the quarterback, and he's playing that way. He is a point guard back there. He's making it happen with his feet. He's making it happen with his arm. He's making these off-platform foot throws that everybody loves so much. You could see the talent. Matter of fact, Reggie Barlow would say it. Hey, we went to sign DeAndre Francois because we didn't think that Jordan Ta'amu would be available to us. We thought that he would be on an NFL roster this time of year. And he kind of fell back in their laps, right? And when he's playing well, they're really good. There's a reason why they went 9-1 last year. Now, a lot of that was also Abram Smith, who led all spring leagues in rushing, and he's not playing for them this year, and they need that rushing attack to get back on the good foot. But right now, it would feel odd for me not to have Jordan Ta'amu in this spot because he's been so meaningful to his team, who has been good when he's on the field. And that leaves me to number 1 right now. That's A.J. McCarron. A.J. is the guy in St. Louis. And that's the reason that he asked for his release from the Cincinnati Bengals, is because he wanted to be the guy again in St. Louis. Anthony Beck doesn't even look at the backup quarterback. It's always going to be AJ's team. And frankly, among passers, he leads the UFL, 838 yards passing. Now, Stallions quarterbacks have combined for 917. Get my point here, right? But AJ McCarron's also done a lot with what they gave him. Like a few weeks back, they couldn't run the ball. And he would say as much, give me the ball. The last couple of games, 2 out of 3 actually, they've had 2 100-yard rushers, and he has not squandered those. He's making it happen with Hakeem Butler. He's finding ways to get Ja'Cour Pearson the ball. And when they play in St. Louis, it's a wrap, which is why everybody ought to be upset, or I say upset, afraid, not upset, if the St. Louis Battlehawks get the 1 seed in the XFL, because they don't have to leave. They would play at St. Louis in the XFL divisional for the conference championship. And then they would play for the UFL championship in the Battle Dome. So it feels like this is setting right up for AJ to walk off with a title and or the MVP if it continues to go the way that it seemed to be going when they were clicking on all cylinders last Saturday.
If you like what you've seen, consider subscribing to the #1 college football show on YouTube, the Fox Sports app, or wherever you get your podcast.